Imagine the universe in its vast infinity. Imagine every rock, every living thing, every planet, every speck of stardust, the cosmos, the millions of atoms. You are part of this grand scheme of things. You are literally the universe experiencing itself in a unique perspective. Each person, each consciousness is a unique experience in itself. All is one. You do not exist without the context of everything else. But what if you could experience all of it from a higher perspective? Maybe from the perspective of God. Based on different beliefs, God can be a lot of things, but this video is no debate to the idea of God and what it means, who's wrong, who's right. This video is about the power and potential of God. For the sake of my explanation, let's just define it as one thing. God is no powerful being or mighty ruler, nor a simple observer throwing dice at destiny or a man sitting in the sky. God is us. God is consciousness. God is creation and destruction. God is universal energy. God is potentials, dimensions. God simply is the weaver and the web of our universe. What does it imply for you? That not only are you linked to God, but you carry divinity within you. The spiritual community often demonizes the human life, the ego, or the false self, claiming that because of its existence we suffer, we struggle. Although there is truth in the fact that desire carries roots for suffering, I do understand this ideology, but I do not believe in its bigger meaning. That in order to come back to what is pure, or your spirit, you must get rid of your human shell. I disagree. Go back to the previous statement that I said at the beginning of this video to understand why. I said, you are part of this grand scheme of things. You are literally the universe experiencing itself in a unique perspective. Each person, each consciousness is a unique experience in itself. All is one. The mere fact that you are aware and capable of understanding this statement represents that you are connected to God. You are a part of God. You have divinity within you. Do not let your ego take over or your pride wash away the purity of my meaning. You are no God, as in you cannot control everything. You are not more powerful than or more important than. You are capable of creation, of consciousness, of divine complexity. But so is everything around you. Do not let your ego take over and believe that this is a human gift. That the mere fact that you are alive and able to understand the stars in the sky means anything. That is giving yourselves too much credit in this ever-expanding vast world. We barely understand this universe, let alone other dimensions. We barely understand it all, but we're still part of it, and that's what matters. You are part of the grand scheme of things. That is without you having to shed away any part of your identity, because you are divinely created. You are meant to experience this perspective. On the other hand, it is understandable for you to desire to access a higher frequency, something deeper and beyond what your eyes can see. That is your soul. That is your essence. That is where you enter the mind of God, your mind. The mind is the passage or the blockage. It is up to you to choose what path to take. Some may argue that, like I mentioned earlier, the ego or the mind stunts the spiritual growth or awareness of one's self. I would say that it is merely a clue to this whole thing. It is a component in the machine being your soul or your higher consciousness. There is no understanding of what your soul is without your ego. Therefore, to understand the universe, similarly, which is you and you are the universe, by the way, you must understand yourself, your perspective. You must be self-aware and actualized on the many truths that you live in. How can you recognize the illusions around you if you cannot recognize what is real in the first place? To then ascend to the mind of God, or at least a higher consciousness, you must observe and an understanding that all is one. There is no observation without self-reflection. There is no objective appreciation of our universe if you are stuck in the loops and the holes of your mind. To understand the mind of the cosmos, you must understand your mind, because it is linked, it is intertwined. And through this ritual of observing yourself and the world, slowly but surely you will gain a perspective bigger than yourself and your circumstances. You unlock the perspective of the creator, the magician, the all-seer. Consciousness connects all things into potentials. What is outside of your body or outside of you is not disconnected from you. In simple terms, let's say that the world is made of particles, and by ascending to the eyes of the creator, the frequency of the divine, there you can assess all the potentials. So you access the truth, the complexity of interconnected realities, the essence. With that being said, let's ask the question: do we need to say goodbye to the human experience? Do we need to release our perspective? Do we need to ascend this state of existence? No, you simply need to learn to expand your conscious mind until it becomes aware. Because as we know, for us, consciousness is the key to everything, or at least awareness. How can you start discovering this new perspective? It's simple. Stay still, observe, meditate, cut out the distractions, submerge yourself into the experiences of this world, reflect, connect to yourself, connect to the universe, whether it's going outside in nature, whether it's just sitting still, whether it's just embracing the moment in which you are living right now. It is as simple as that. There is no secret technique, there is no magical or hidden information that you must find. All the answers are here now because you are the answer. You are the cause, the effect. All is within, all is here. All is one big perspective. Now, I will ask you something. Imagine the universe in its vast infinity. Imagine every rock, every planet, every speck of stardust, the cosmos, the millions of atoms. Were you able to picture something clear in your mind? Were you able to gain this perspective? Then you just did it. You entered the consciousness or the mind of God without shedding your ego. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you cultivate the consciousness of God.